The surveillance video obtained by CNN begins as she enters the hallway. The complaint says as she exited, Mr. Combs awoke and began screaming at Miss Ventura. He followed her into the hallway of the hotel while yelling at her. The complaint goes on to say he grabbed her and then took glass vases in the hallway and threw them at her. In the surveillance video, Combs can be seen grabbing Ventura and throwing her to the ground. As Ventura lies on the ground, Combs then kicks her twice and attempts to drag her on the floor back to the hotel room. Ventura is seen picking up a hotel phone. Combs seems to walk back to the hotel room, then returns and appears to shove her in a corner. Moments later, he can be seen throwing an object in her direction.
Sean Diddy Combs built his empire on dominance, over music, fashion, culture, and even perception. He was never just a rapper or businessman. He was a brand, a movement, a myth. But now, that myth is unraveling. Lawsuits, federal raids, explosive accusations. The headlines are everywhere. His image of control is slipping, and the empire he built piece by piece is starting to look a lot more fragile than anyone expected. But here's the twist. What if Diddy wasn't the one holding the strings the whole time? What if someone else was helping manage the silence, the secrets, and the spin? Someone close, someone powerful. His mother, Janice Combs.
Let's talk about this 80-year-old woman who's seen laying out by the pool with Diddy getting drip IVs after a long night of freak-offs. Meet his mother, Janice Combs. Now, Janice raised Diddy all alone because Melvin, Diddy's father, died at the age of 3. Janice told him it was because of a car accident, but Diddy learned later on it was because his father was a drug dealer and was shot. In this one Instagram live video, you'll see moments of Diddy kissing with his mother and talking about how she's single, talking about bringing her to the clubs, and even making jokes at one point about how she can put her palms on the ground and touch them flat, insinuating that his mother can take it from the back. You guys can't make this stuff up.
Don't stop. She could touch the floor with her palms. You know? Flat. Oh! Take pew pew pew.
Diddy gifted his mother $1 million for her 80th birthday. It's giving hush money, and nowadays she's been defending her son, saying that this is all a bunch of lies.
She's been mostly invisible during the chaos, but insiders say her influence has never been louder. Some believe Janice helped craft Diddy's rise. Others say she's behind the eerie silence surrounding his accusers. And now, her name is showing up in places it never used to. Behind closed doors, in legal whispers, and in the background of stories no one wants to tell. Because if Janice Combs has been protecting her son all along, the real story might not be about Diddy's fall. It might be about what she's doing to keep him from hitting the ground. In November 2023, Cassie Ventura stepped forward, and everything changed. Her lawsuit against Diddy wasn't just another celebrity dispute. It was a detailed, disturbing account of years of alleged abuse, manipulation, and coercion. The kind of allegations that can end careers and destroy reputations.
My behavior on that video is inexcusable. I was disgusted then when I did it. I'm disgusted now.
Diddy apologized only after CNN broadcast the shocking confrontation worldwide. But prosecutors claimed in court Diddy texted Cassie in the days after the assault. "The cops are here. I got 6 kids. You gonna abandon me all alone?" She replied, "You are sick for thinking it's okay to do what you've done. I still have crazy bruising."
But then, just as quickly as it surfaced, it was gone. Settled in less than 24 hours. No court appearances, no testimony, no media tour, just a carefully crafted statement and a silence that felt too rehearsed. To the public, it looked like a clean ending. But behind the scenes, there were signs of pressure. According to sources close to the situation, Cassie began receiving strange calls. No caller ID, no clear threats, just vague, unsettling messages. Think about your future. Is it worth it? And then came the offers. Legal assistance, financial support, protection, all on the condition that she step back, stay silent, and walk away. The speed and coordination of these offers raised questions. Who was managing this? Who had the power to move that quickly without leaving fingerprints? More than one person pointed in the same direction. Not Diddy, Janice, To the world, Janice Combs has always been the supportive mother, the graceful figure smiling beside Diddy in photos, offering quiet encouragement. But insiders paint a different picture. They call her the firewall. In the early days of Bad Boy Records, Janice was more than just a background presence. She helped shape Diddy's image, protected his brand. She knew how to pull strings without being seen pulling them. "She doesn't need to yell," said one former employee. "She makes a few phone calls and things happen." She's not flashy, she's not loud, but she's strategic, and that makes her dangerous. Over time, her role shifted from mother to manager of the machine, a quiet force behind the scenes, managing damage control, picking up the pieces before they ever hit the floor. And now that everything's coming undone, some believe she's back in play. Not as a bystander, but as a protector. Cassie's story may have been the spark, but it wasn't the only flame. As her lawsuit made headlines, other women started speaking out. Former associates hinted at misconduct. People who'd once been close to Diddy suddenly had something to say.
Diddy's mum has spoken out after the latest developments in his case, saying he's not a monster and the allegations are lies. A reminder, Sean Combs was arrested on charges of sex and racketeering last month. Diddy's lawyers denied the charges on his behalf, saying they're false and defamatory. His ex, Cassie Ventura, accused him of rape and abuse last year, which he denied, and her civil claim against him was settled out of court. 12 other women have since sued him, many accusing him of drugging and assaulting them. And then, after a raid on his house in March, authorities built a criminal case against him. A video was later leaked to the press of Diddy physically assaulting Cassie in a hotel in 2016. Although he initially denied abuse, he later apologised and took full responsibility for his actions in the video. And now he faces potential lawsuits from more than 100 people of alleged sexual assault and sexual exploitation. Diddy's mum says he's made mistakes in the past, as we all have, but that he's not the monster they've painted him out to be. Janice Combs also said, "It was agonising to watch the world turn against my son so quickly and easily over lies and misconceptions." Janice argued that one lie, referencing the hotel abuse, didn't mean he was guilty of all the other repulsive allegations and the grave charges levelled against him.
But then, they didn't. One by one, they started going quiet. Some deleted social media accounts, others declined interviews they had already agreed to. A few flat out vanished. The whispers, they got louder behind the scenes. Several accusers reported receiving anonymous messages, texts, calls, or even handwritten notes warning them to be careful or think twice. One woman claimed she saw the same black SUV parked outside her apartment for 3 days in a row, just sitting there. No one inside ever stepped out, but it never left. And again, just like with Cassie, there were offers. Help with legal fees, relocation assistance, settlements, but always in exchange for silence. And while Diddy's legal team denies any involvement, some believe these tactics weren't coming from the lawyers at all. They were coming from someone smarter, someone who knew how to operate in the dark. Janice. Legal analysts are noticing a pattern. Multiple women, similar tactics, identical timing. Accusations emerge, and almost immediately there's pressure to settle. Offers to help, followed by silence. In many of these cases, non-disclosure agreements were reportedly offered early, sometimes before formal complaints were even filed. That kind of timing doesn't happen by accident. One former attorney who worked in entertainment law called it out. "This looks like a playbook, not a coincidence." And playbooks need coordinators. Someone who understands image control, who knows how to protect a legacy, who can operate behind the scenes while others take the heat. Someone like Janice Combs. And if she really is involved, then this isn't just about Diddy. It's about a system, a structure, a cover-up decades in the making. To understand where this all leads, we have to look at where it started. Sean Combs was raised in Harlem by Janice after his father was murdered when he was just 2 years old. That trauma shaped both of them deeply. According to people close to the family, Janice became fiercely protective. Some say she was obsessed with making sure her son would never be vulnerable again. That protectiveness turned into control. One childhood acquaintance, featured in a recent documentary, alleged that Janice hosted unusual adult parties when Diddy was young. Not family cookouts, not school events, grown-up gatherings, with grown-up behavior happening in plain view.
So Diddy's mom might have been the person who gave them the idea for the freak-off parties in the first place. According to one of his childhood friends, Diddy's mom was a massive 304. That's Gen Z speak for hoe. According to Diddy's childhood friend, he would go over for sleepovers at Sean's house, and Janice, his mom, and all her friends would be doing a whole lot of drugs and a whole lot of clapping, which would explain why she's being very vocally and publicly in support of her son, even though he's an absolute weirdo. Now, his friend said that maybe all of this stuff stems from Diddy's childhood. And you know what? We don't care! Just because you had a weird childhood doesn't mean that you drug people's drinks and play with their buttholes! And look, I had childhood trauma, and I sympathize with anybody else who had childhood trauma, but you know what you don't do as an adult? You don't pass that trauma on to other people. If this weird behavior all started off when he was a little kid, it does make a little more sense. But Diddy still needs the wood chipper!
It's speculation, but troubling. Because if Diddy learned early that control equals survival, where did he learn it from? And if Janice helped create that mindset, what role does she play now that it's unraveling? There's one thing that keeps coming up: silence. Brendan Paul, reportedly one of Diddy's closest associates, has gone off-grid. No public statements, no press, nothing. Erica English, allegedly Diddy's personal fixer, hasn't commented once, despite being named in several insider reports. Even artists and celebrities once loyal to Diddy, quiet. And that silence speaks volumes. Some believe Janice is keeping them quiet. Not with threats, but with fear, leverage, loyalty. Because when you've helped people get jobs, homes, or opportunities, you can also take them away. And Janice, according to those who knew her, she never forgets a favor. Diddy's empire isn't just built on beats and bottles. It's built on image. And right now, that image is taking serious damage. Ciroc, Revolt, fashion ventures, streaming numbers. Every part of his brand is under review, and partnerships are falling apart behind closed doors. And while Diddy's legal team spins the usual PR lines, he's focusing on family, he's taking time to reflect, no one's buying it. People familiar with the Combs family say Janice is working overtime to protect what's left, trying to negotiate, reconnect with old contacts, even allegedly trying to shut down upcoming exposés. But the cracks are showing, and even a mother's influence can't stop what's coming if the foundation is already rotten. The most tragic part of this entire story might be this: Janice may have thought she was doing the right thing, protecting her son, preserving the family name, guarding the empire they built together, but in the process of shielding him from consequences, she may have enabled him, empowered him. And now, she might be watching everything they built collapse under the weight of secrets that were never supposed to surface. Because cover-ups don't last forever. And the longer they go, the bigger the fallout. What once was protection might now be destruction. This isn't just about Diddy. It's about influence, image, legacy. It's about how far someone might go. Not just to rise to the top, but to stay there, even if it means burying stories, silencing victims, or pulling strings from the shadows. And if the whispers are true, Janice Combs might not be an innocent bystander. She might be the architect, the strategist, the quiet storm behind the curtain. And in the end, this scandal might not just destroy Diddy's reputation. It might rewrite everything we thought we knew about how he got there.